Hey everybody, Juju here on my lovely Ireland, and I have my fancy tent. It's my guitar intro. I'm not going to go into the whole thing about tents because there's plenty of movies out there on this specific tent. I'm just going to let you know how I feel, what I think about it. So far I love the tent. It's a seasonal 3 tent. It's not season 4, but I've seen a couple of YouTube movies that people out there in the high mountains, and it's taken a lot of abuse. So I'm not going to try it obviously because we're coming into the spring summer, and I really only use a tent for kayak camping. When I'm going out on my gravel bike and kind of running adventures, I wouldn't be carrying a tent, and I don't go hiking. Sorry, but I'm going to give you the best. I mean, I do go hiking, but I don't bring a big rucksack and tents. I usually just sleep in a bivvy bag, which I have here as well. We're going to talk about that later on in the movie. So the intro to this is the Osmo 2-person backpacking tent, as they call it. Like, this is a small world, I have to say, because the name of the tent is Dagger. That's also the name of my kayak. This is a very famous, I would say famous area for me now, because it's all over the internet, this area. I never give away my location unless you follow me on Strava. Let's do this movie. Now, I know where I usually camp here. I know where my tent needs to be here. But what I do recommend for you to try always is to put your sleeping mat down first, lie on the ground, and figure out the best placement for your tent, okay? Because even though when you set up your tent, and this tent is a freestanding tent, that means you don't actually need to have pegs. You can use it in a car park or whatever. You can just pick it up and plonk it down. But I will be pegging this down to the ground, and we'll talk about the pegs later on. The guns, the bads, and the uglies of this tent. Rightio, we'll start now. Walk the ground obviously beforehand. I do like the poles. And you never have to worry about losing your poles because these specific poles are all stuck together. And as you can see, they slot in quite easily, and I love the little features on them, and they're all color coded. Color coded, that's the word. Each corner of the pole and each corner of the tent. I mean, this tent is just made for dummies, i.e. me. So we got the pegs here, and then we got the tent itself. Now, I would personally put a little hook down there at the end of the tent, just me, so I can grab onto it and throw at the tent. Can't do that. So we don't poke the eyes out at the same time. And then you come over to the yellow corner. We'll talk about the colours in a minute. And you pop it in like so. So that is how simple that is. There's a little small little opening there, and you basically put that in there. And that's how simple that is. Now, when you've done all the sides and you've faffed around all the clips, faff is my new word this week. You obviously put in this part, and again, as you can see, oh, wait a minute, Ron, it's not working there properly. Something's too tensed. Oh yeah. As you can see, the yellow meets yellow, or gold meets gold, whichever way you prefer your colour codings. And then you come over to this side, and you find that yellow there is again. And this is what makes the beautifulness of, and how easy it is to clip on. And then you put that one on. Sorry, I apologise. I knew I did something wrong. Never force anything on, because it's made simple. And this is my freestanding tent. I can manoeuvre to wherever I want. Plump it on the ground. Oh, look at that. I mean, it's great that you can see the clear sheet, so later on I can look up at the stars. And there's going to be lots of cool stars. But also, it's not going to rain. Then you can just use as is. Obviously don't get it snagged and anything, find out where it needs to be. It's colour coded as well. It's not a great video, I know. I'm a bit bogey at doing these kind of things. There is colour coded on the tent, okay, and it corresponds with the corners of the tent, the fly sheet. I'm not going to give it a shake because there's too many low branches here. Just going to get it over and fill it out from there. Bring it down. The Nemo goes to the side, which is the side wall, and then we'll figure out what colour codes of the fly sheet in a second. We'll just get it cover over first. There's a little clip at the end of this clip here, you see? Clips on like so, and it's green, meets green. That's that on. Simple. Just make sure that the corners are meeting the corners. Oh, I made a mistake. Shoot me. On that, there is actually inside clips on the inside of the fly that actually sticks onto the frame, but they are there, as you can see. That's the little things there. Now, in a really windy condition, I guess you need to use that. But for the purpose of this movie, and I know there's no wind for 2 or 3 days, I'm not going to bother with strapping the little Velcro cords onto the poles, okay? And you find the pegs when you do find them and peg it down. Simple, done, job done, bump. Now, onto the magic. Again, I apologise about the video and editing skills. I shouldn't be saying the video editing skills, I more should be saying the camera skills. Anyway, so you get these lovely pegs. Now, there isn't enough of these in my opinion. And for a windier day, camera, one part of the corner of each tent where the two ropey things, the twiny things that hold the fly sheet down, meet in the middle like so on the ground, on top of my nose. And that one peg goes into them. Now at first I thought there was some pegs missing, but I actually done some research and a few people had said no, there's only limited pegs. Downside for Osmo. Now luckily me, with all my lovely kit, I have a few of these extra fancy looking pegs. So on a windier day, I would say then you would need to have extra pegs for obviously force 4 windy conditions, you know. Now we're going to go into the inside. There is a little sheet thing that comes along here, and it's basically like a ground area to put your shoes and stuff, which is fantastic. And then you can come inside the tent. Welcome into my tent, ladies and gents. It is definitely an amazing, such clear tent. It is fantastic space. It is brilliant. It is just a wow tent. I love the colour. I love the fact that you can actually see through it at this present moment. Where the older tent, it was dark and dull and boring and depressing. I don't know what to do with the sound effects there. There's no way in those sound effects. And these little things here are actually quite little cool pockets for your lights at night time. And there's one on both sides. A reason for that in a second. And here there's also a pocket. And also on this side there's also a pocket. And there's a reason for that as well. There's also a door on that side. There's also a door on this side. And there's a reason for that too. And there's a little thing hanging out here. Here, right? And it hangs here and here and here and here. And over there again. And there's a reason for all that too. And do you know what the reason is? No, I'm not going to say put it in the comments. Remember, this camera's still on. What it actually is to... No, sorry, 1 sec. What all them clips are above there are for is if you want to drive through a little bit of twine or some whatever, shoelace or something like that, and you can have an inside line. So we're going to set the tent up now and put my mats and stuff in and get undressed from my kayaking gear, make some dinner, have a beer and watch the sunset. Yeah! The fabric is just beautiful, the colour is beautiful, and you can tell it's really, really well made for recycled materials. I just love these little kind of, I don't know what they're called, hooks, clasps. They just come around like this, you pop it through like that, you put it there and you let gravity do everything else. And the same goes for the inside part with the net. Even though I'm getting attacked by a few midges now, I should technically leave it open, closed, but that can't be ours. So I'm just going to roll her up, and again you can see, maybe you can't because the camera's not looking at this, how easy it is to just do it one hand now, you know, and there you go. That one doesn't go up. It feels like, I personally think the zip should go around with a little longer so you can have that kind of opened, but it's obviously protecting you from the wind as well if you're sitting there, because it's a two-man tent, so one person head there and the opposite person with the head and the feet there. And that's the whole point of having the pockets on either side. It's to give you the equal effect of what your partner has or your friend has. You want to be a close friend now in fairness, but it gives you that, the two doors, the two pockets, everything's on either side, and then the centre has the light. Now, let's get all my bits and bobs in. Okay, this is my old school, I think it's a seasonal 1 and 2 ground mat. So I use 2 mats per year, winter, summer, every other time. I don't have a winter mat, I can't afford one. My sponsors won't give it to me because it's too expensive for their budget. I have a budget with them, and this kind of materials is just too expensive, so I bought this myself many years ago, but obviously with my pro discount in the stores. And I've been using it for years now. Like, I've had this for donkeys and it's never let me down. I've used it on rocks and everything. So I still don't understand why they say it's self-inflated though, because I leave that open for hours and nothing happens. So I do blow it up myself. I'm not going to blow it up now for the purpose of the movie. Just going to leave it there for a second. Pick up my bits and bobs so I don't lose them. Leave them all in one section there and go and get the rest of the kit. So I could technically go in that side, but I don't want to open up that side for now. I just want to, for the purpose of the movie, come in this way. You can see that, you know, there's some good, great space. I'm 6'2", flat out is 7 foot tall, or just over 7 foot in length. I have a new sleeping bag coming from Osmo, the same company as my tent, and it has a waterproof ending in the sleeping bag. So if you're, and it's a synthetic fabric as well. My sleeping bag now is down. I've had it for 20 plus years, so it's time for upgrade. So I'm getting a synthetic sleeping bag for reasons of dampness and also reasons for wetness in the tent, so condensation and stuff like that. But the end of the sleeping bag, which we'll talk about another time, will have a waterproof ending where your feet are. It'll also have a little air sip for you, where you let some air in out your feet, you know, but keeps the rest of the body warm. I'm not talking about that now because we don't have it, and that's going to be cool for that. And then my pillow, which you'll see in a second. Okay, I had to stop the camera there because there's a big cruising boat passing by and they can get quite loud, you know, probably hear it in the background. So I've just opened up my new bag. This is a fantastic bag. I actually got this bag not because it's red, because it's narrow and I can get more stuff stuffed into it and still be narrow to store in the kayak, where my previous one, big yellow one, is wider and I struggled to get it in and out the little hatches. So this is specifically designed for kayaking. It's not the best background colour to see the bag properly. And you can see it's actually much more narrow. Anyway, enough of talking on the camera, let's get stuff out. Ta-da! I got my old school slippers. Can't even remember who make them. They're full of holes and duct tape. So I'm going to use them tonight because I'm going trail running in my trail shoes that I normally use just for walking around the tent and stuff. My woolly hat for later on. A friend of mine bought that as a gift. What else have we got? My pillow. Yay! Thermal rest pillow. Air. This is a fantastic pillow. I'm giving this pillow 10 out of 10 for many reasons. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then my sleeping bag, which is a 20,000 years old, but it still does the job. It's a down duvet, a down sleeping bag. It's a down 600, I think, made by Burgas. Really old school company. I love them to bits. Down 600, yeah. For the extra bags, what I do is I flatten them out and I use them in areas that I think I might need them for headspaces. So, like just over there, you know. And then when this one comes out, it'll be there as well. So I'm using it as a ground mat on top of other things. See, the hook is great because you can just pull things out, and I like bags with hooks on them. So look at how soft that is. Can you feel how soft that is? I'm telling you, you need to trust me, it's very soft. It's easy to blow up. There's a little bag inside and it's just beautiful fabric. Again, you just, with this particular company, you just open it up and you blow into it. It's simple. I blew into that and I rotated the knob and I turned it at the same time, and there are 3 blows and that's my pump, that's my baby for the night. And now I've got all my clothes that I need in here. So that's the end of my filming, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I apologise about all the distortion with the camera. I'm not used to doing these kind of movies. I'm used to just doing action movies. I'm not used to actually talking to the camera while I set up the tent. I get a bit nervous. So I'm going to enjoy this beer. Oh, nice and cold because I left them in the Shannon. Shannon's my fridge. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights. No filters needed. Oh yeah. Oh, the swans, you see them running, chasing each other, looking for kissies. They might get lucky. I know I won't be getting lucky tonight, but anyway, this is my luck. A sunset.